in September last year, Zelensky signed a decree making it a criminal offense to negotiate with Russia as long as Putin is president. No delivery on the oral commitments, no delivery on written commitments, no delivery on legally binding commitments. And all this was accompanied by NATO instructors. So we defended our security, we defended the people, the Russian people.
Bombs don't exist, smart sanctions don't exist. No matter how much bombing you do, nothing is going to work out. You are going to cause damage, you are taking innocent lives all along. Similarly, smart sanctions, agree with you, don't exist. They will always be possibilities. Collateral damage is extremely high. So there, yes, both sides need to get together and find a solution. But the point is that somewhere there has to be a line drawn to, okay, let diplomacy have a chance. Let's start talking once again.
Look,
No, but
you really surprised me.
The questions,
my dear friend, you surprised me, because if you raise this issue,
yeah,
you should have done some homework. Do you know that Zelensky, everybody is asking when Russia is ready to negotiate, when Russia is ready to negotiate. The West continuously is saying that it is not time to negotiate yet because Ukraine must win in the battlefield before any negotiations. And Zelensky himself, nobody calls on Zelensky asking him when he is going to negotiate, but you should have known, preparing for this topic at this meeting, that in September last year, Zelensky signed a decree making it a criminal offense to negotiate with Russia as long as Putin is president. So can you address this issue? Can you invite him and ask him what he is doing? In OSCE, Organization of Security and Cooperation in Europe, during a summit in Istanbul in 1999, the political declaration was signed by the presidents and the prime ministers, which said security is indivisible, and the OSCE participants are all committed to equal and indivisible security. Then they stated that each country is free to choose alliances, but in doing so, no country can strive to strengthen its security at the expense of the security of others. And then another principle was signed by the presidents and the prime ministers, according to which no country and no organization in the OSCE region can pretend to dominate militarily. If you read it again, it's clear that NATO violated all these commitments. By the way, it was in 1999, and then it was repeated in 2010 at another OSCE summit in Kazakhstan. And when we started to ask questions, guys, you committed yourself not to increase your security at the expense of our security, can you stop expanding NATO? They said, well, this is just political commitment.
But Minister, what
wait
does
a second,
the
wait
war
a
achieve?
wait a second. Look, if you ask the question which I'm trying to answer, that means that you don't know what I'm telling you now. So when we said, okay, you said this is political commitment, let's make it a legal commitment. Let's put all these principles in a legally binding treaty, indivisible security. You know what they told us? They said, you know, legally binding guarantees of security can only be obtained inside NATO. Just looking into our face. We told them, look, President Obama signed this particular paper. Well, this is political commitment, forget about this. And then there was another legally binding commitment, the resolution of the Security Council, which endorsed the Minsk agreements. It was very, very astonishing that all those who signed the Minsk agreements, except Putin, publicly admitted that they never intended to implement this particular Security Council resolution. So no delivery on the oral commitments, no delivery on written commitments, no delivery on legally binding commitments. And all this was accompanied by NATO instructors beefing up Ukrainian army, Ukraine getting more and more weapons. As Merkel, Hollande, Poroshenko, and Zelensky said, we needed the Minsk agreements to buy some time to get more and more weapons to Ukraine. And if you can check the reports of OSCE Special Monitoring Mission, they registered sharp increase of the shelling of Donbass just in the beginning of February. 20, 30 times more than the routine exchange of fire before that. So we defended our security, we defended the people, the Russian people, who had been denied by Poroshenko and Zelensky, denied the right to use the Russian language in education, in media, in culture, in everything.